it nice to be back at a board meeting? We haven't had one in 2 weeks. You probably didn't even miss it because it's actually the least attended video. Now, maybe that vacation was good for all of us. So anyway, before we get really started with the down to business stuff, I want to update you on the Amazon affiliate links that are in the description of my channel. Our channel. It's our channel. That's why we're having a board of directors meeting. Anyway, my dear friend Anne, when we were going on our trip, she gave me this, and it is, I don't think you can really see it because I don't know how to hold the stupid thing, but it's this, and this hooks on to the inside of your car door. When you open your car, you see, whoops, see where it goes? Okay, so you put it in there and you can pull on it. So like it's like a handle, and it stays secure because that thing that it goes in is really strong. I mean, it's welded on or soldered on or something. And you don't lean on it that much, but you can use it going in and going out. And it helped me a lot, especially if you have pain in your hips or in your knees. So even though I'm not sponsored, I'm just showing you this. And it comes with this little strap. And Anne and I had the hardest time figuring out. She kept saying, it goes on the window, it goes on the window. Well, upon further investigation, yes, it does go on the window, but what you do is you loop, I'm not going to be able to show you the whole thing, but it unlocks here, and you put it on the frame. You lower the window, put it on the frame of the window, not on the window or on the glass, and then you can use it to pull yourself. So if you need to pull yourself up, then you pull this. It's like we used to have patients that had trapezes when they were in bed, and it can hold a lot of weight. I think it's like 400 pounds or something that I read. But every elderly person should have one of these. Just saying. You can buy them in a package of 1, or you can buy them in a package of 2. So if you're single and alone, just get 1. But if you're a couple, or if you have a lot of elderly passengers, get 2. Common sense. Okay, so then the next thing that Anne gave me was a grabber. Now, I bet most of you have grabbers. But there are grabbers and there are grabbers. Now, this is the one that I had. It is a cheap plastic thing, and it doesn't really grip things really well. It works okay, but it's not as good as the one that Anne gave me. So I put a link to that one, and you don't have to buy this one. Well, you don't have to buy any, but if you need them, just remember, there are grabbers and there are grabbers. This one has nice rubber, so it grabs better, and it's tight, and it holds it tight, so it doesn't slip off and stuff, like if it was a piece of paper. Or I'll pick up my trash bag. How's that? See, I have trash everywhere. Okay, they also have, I mean, this is a good one, but they have even better ones. So, you know, get one that meets your needs, that you'd be happy with. This is cool. You actually should have them everywhere you sit, or, you know, whatever. So buy 10, because you never know. I'm only kidding. So then, I don't have an example of this, but I did, someone expressed an interest in those twinkling candles that I told you about, that my friend Gay had. So I figured out which one she had, and I also went to Amazon and I looked, and so I brought you 2 ones that are very similar. So you don't have to buy the exact ones I was talking about. You can buy whatever you see when you get into that link, if you want to. And things you want to look for, is it LED or is it batteries? How many do you get in a package? Because they vary from one, and then I saw one, I think, that had a dozen in it, and the one that she got had 9 in it. So, and there's different kinds. There's clear ones, there's white ones, and there's colored ones. So, you know, you might want to pay attention to those things when you're looking. So I thought I'd tell you that. Then the other thing that I have on the Amazon affiliate thing is these under cabinet lights, like this. You see them flickering because they are motion sensitive. You can have them on just all the time, or you can have them motion sensitive. So I like these a lot. And the reason I like them a lot is they don't require any kind of installation except putting a magnet, which comes with it, on these spots, and then putting it on your cabinet. There's a sticky magnet that you put on your cabinet, and then this is magnetized, and then you set it. The one thing, it lasts pretty long, but if it's flickering off and on, if you have it in a spot where you're walking by all the time, you may have to recharge it more than you'd like to. But what I do is I bought 2 sets, and so I just always have like a backup. So if one goes down and needs to be recharged, I just put up another one. So, but I really like them. So if you have inadequate lighting, I'm planning on putting one in my bathroom so that when you walk in, it looks right to the floor. And it's just another safety thing. So, yeah, so you get up in the middle of the night and all these lights start going off and on. But at least you know that it's not ghosts, it's you. Or your cat. The cat will. But anyway, they're good things. So, that's all I wanted to talk about, the links. Then I do want to talk about finding the cherry at the end of the video. Now, you may see cherries, and I'm going to take them away because they've been here for a while. But probably in the last few minutes, I am going to put a cherry someplace. And the first 3 people that guess that cherry, I'd like you to put it in the comments and like put the time or something so I know, so I can be fair, because it's only going to be the first 3, but that are going to be winners. But we're all winners because, you know, if you take a little fun, you know, like Where's Waldo or whatever. Some people actually really got into it the last time I did it. So I'm planning on doing it once a month if I don't forget. So that's another thing I wanted to tell you about. I'm still going to take Sundays off, so there will be no video tomorrow. You may see short videos or the tomato collab posted on Sunday. I hate to promise anything because every time I promise, I break my promise, so I'm not going to promise. But if you see a collab, I'm thinking in my mind that I'm going to do it an update every Sunday, because I think once a week is enough, because it's going to be like watching a pot of water boil. You know, it's going to take a while. But I have a few things to share with you initially, you know, for 2 or 3 minutes, and that's it. So, back to the business of this. I don't even think I said welcome to Senior Insights because I started blabbing away. But if I didn't, welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia. And if I did, too bad. You notice it's dark. That's because I got up so early because I couldn't wait to see you. So come on in. There's plenty of chairs. Relax and get comfortable. So the first video I'm going to talk about is Autumn Reset. And actually, it did pretty well. People were interested, a lot of positive comments. I'm not going to go through all of them, but one of the suggestions that I made was to maybe take your own personal area. If you're not big into decorating your whole house, let's face it, that's a whole big job. And we're old. Well, some of us are old. There's a few spring chicks in here, but most of us are old. So older. Not old in spirit, but, you know. So, Dear Heart Studios, she really likes the ambiance of the candles. And so I just wanted to say that there was someone else, which of course I didn't put it down, who definitely asked me to put up a link to the candles. So I did. And that is my person who calls me Cinzers, that I can never say her name. She's the one. She likes candles. Uh-oh. Betty, her dog enjoys watching me. I'm glad somebody does. She also said, I'm waiting for you to post a link to the bidet. And wouldn't you know, I forgot. I posted the link, but I forgot to talk about it when I was talking about the links. So if you're interested in the bidet, it was something that we talked about when we talked about incontinence and, you know, wetting yourself and keeping yourself clean and not smelling like an old person. Has a reputation for smelling. We know it's not true, but the bidet is a possibility that it would help with that situation. Valerie says she likes to change her pillow covers with each season, and I think she said that she got them at Amazon, and I have a few sets that I purchased at Amazon. They're very reasonably priced, and I think you can buy them in like 2 to a pack or 4 to a pack, but they're not from TJ Maxx or from some high-end store. But I don't know, I have some plain ones too, like that have a check and have a stripe that are really very pretty, and they're a nice heavy duck cotton. So look around if that's something that you're interested in doing. It's an easy way to spruce up your place. And Nan asked, because I had said I went in my closet and I found this beautiful Cole Haan purse, and it was all mold. And she said, well, if there was mold on your purse, there must be mold in your closet. Well, if you're familiar, if anyone has had leather and has had it sitting someplace for a long time, leather grows mold all on its own. It just does. And there are ways that you can clean the mold off. But I threw the purse out, and I know I don't see any evidence of mold in my closet. But you know, mold spores are microscopic, so who knows? I might die from black lung disease. And there were a lot of conversations about falls, because I said, I don't like to call it fall anymore because fall has a whole different connotation. And I said I had 3 broken arms. And someone said, you really did? And Woody says, yeah, she really said that. So that makes me believe that he doesn't really believe that I had 3 broken arms. But that's another whole video. And yes, I did have 3 broken arms. So there. And Pam made a comment that it's nice that we're willing to change and let the leaves fall. And I thought that was really profound. Pam is a little younger than us, so we have to keep her under our wings so that we can teach her what it's really like. The next video is what to do with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Well, what it really was a tour of the North Conway Olive Oil Company that was given by Bill Kittredge. I had to ask him his name 3 times during the thing. He told me that I better start taking some olive oil. It's supposed to be good for your memory. But anyway, he did a great job, and you can find him online. I tried printing out taking pictures of his brochures and his pairings and stuff, you're better off just going to his website. It's North Conway Olive Oil Company. And some people have purchased olive oil from him. At first, it seems like it's pretty pricey, but I would encourage you to look at the prices in the grocery store for a quality olive oil, and you may be surprised. And the vinegar, if you buy the vinegar, that lasts forever. The olive oil does have a shelf life of like 18 months. That stuff doesn't bother me though. So Karen said that she uses the blood orange olive oil when she bakes a cake, and she also uses the lemon flavored olive oil. So I thought that was really interesting. I had never heard of that. I have always cringed thinking of using olive oil because it is expensive and it's hidden in a cake. Why can't you just use regular olive oil? But imagine, and he says you don't need a lot. In other words, you do like a ratio. Maybe you do regular olive oil and then put 2 tablespoons or something. Joshua says, now you all know who Joshua is. He's a very loyal follower of this channel. And he says, and what he says, he really means it because he's a very sincere person. He says, Faithy is a superstar. Yeah. And he has special relationships with a lot of the members of this community. And I know that I'm sure that he really appreciates you taking the time to converse with him and talk to him. I wish I could get a Disney thing. Oh well. And I guess that's it with the olive oil. Oh, Joshua's father takes olive oil too. Then there was a video that I did. What did I forget this time? I didn't forget anything except my tweezers. So I was really good. I was really good. But she says, Expect a Miracle says she's got to have tweezers. And Catherine, I don't know what her last name is, she was retiring. I think she was retiring yesterday, Friday. And so we want to give a shout out to her because, wow, how exciting is it to retire? I can't remember that far back now. It wasn't that long ago, though. And then I did a short that didn't show up in the shorts because I don't know how to do a short. I did one short. Never mind, you don't need to know that. But it was on the socks, and the socks that Kathy the quilter made for me, and she sent them to me. And I wore them for the first time when I was on vacation. They're beautiful socks. They were comfortable socks. And I'm so glad that Kathy saw that video so she knows that I was really pleased with the socks. So there's a woman who lives, her initials are GTRN. She has a whole collection of socks that she made, and she loves them. And she doesn't make them anymore because she has arthritic fingers, but she has the socks. Too bad Kathy doesn't sell them because we could put them on a store here for, anyway, I should keep my mouth shut. That's more work for me. And Northern Sparrow was wondering if Kathy would share that pattern. So I'm just saying it. And I did write it in the comments. So Kathy, if you're watching this and you're willing to share that pattern, just let me know. And we've had a decent amount of subs that have come on board this week. And so I'd like to welcome them all, but I don't dare individually welcome them because I'm sure I would mess it up. I'd leave someone out and they would say, oh, sure, she thinks she's so cool. So I don't want to do that, but there have been some really nice new people. So if you notice that there's new people, please welcome them and invite them to the board meeting. Have them come coffee, but tell them they have to bring their own. Sometimes I have some available, but that was from the video that I did. I think I'm going crazy. Well, I don't think it. I know it. And you know what? You know what I found out? Is that most of you are crazy, and most of you understood exactly what I was talking about. I'm not like really, really crazy. I'm just, I get hyped up and I get anxious. Woody says, stop being so anxious. We're all here for you. And I know that. And you know that sometimes I exaggerate things so that it'll make you laugh or chuckle. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen. But I like to bring in the feelings. So Nana says, I'm not crazy. And Donna, Donna, ordered cherries in the snow. And someone else ordered it and they didn't like it. They said it was too bright. It is bright. Look at how bright it is. Now, I never wore lipstick before. I mean, I always wore these pink shades that you couldn't even see. They look like lip color. So what I told her is hang in there, try it out, because you might discover that it's just because you're not used to seeing you with lipstick. And yes, it is bright. My daughter even said that. I think it's beautiful. And I know tons of you do too. Then I did the Micro Dish collab. The Micro Dwarf Tomato collab video, introduction video. All I'm going to say about it, that's a whole separate thing. Then the next one was 5 things that I wish I knew. Carol says, great minds think alike. She's from Plain Vanilla Grandma, and she did a video, she says, about 6 years ago about what she would tell her 18-year-old self. So I thought that was really interesting. That's why I said, well, she said great minds think alike. Someone suggested stretching, that stretching was really important. Grandma Lois, do you all know Grandma Lois? She is a lovely, lovely person, and she likes this channel. And she's 92, I think. And she commented, she made 2 suggestions, 3 suggestions. She said, when you're sitting on the toilet, that you should get up from the toilet, sit down from the toilet, get up from the toilet, sit down, get up, sit down. Someday I'll do a video with it. I'll do a short, me getting up and down off the toilet. Anyway, it's fabulous for your knees and your thighs and your butt. You don't have to do a lot, especially if you don't do a lot to begin with. A couple every time you go to the bathroom. Now, it is hard if you don't have side rails. You could use a walker. If one side is stronger, you could use a cane. You could have a chair in there and pull the chair over and go up and down. So think about that, because that's something that you can do. You have to go to the bathroom, right? Or you have to go on a commode and you have to get up. You have to get up from your chair. Do it a couple times each time you get up. So that's a good thing. She also said turmeric is very good for what ails us, joints, memory, all kinds of things. My daughter has been trying to get me to take turmeric for a long time, and I go, just like I do everything else, I do what I want to do, not what I know is right. So I think that what I will do is do like more of a whole thing on the turmeric. Grandma Lois also said walking. She goes to the Y and she walks, but she also walks in her house with her walker, because she has to use the walker now because she had vertigo, although she doesn't have to do it all the time. Sometimes she feels better. Walk into the living room, walk out to the living room, do it a couple times, go around. Like I could go around my counter a few times. I could do plies. Do you remember that? And GTRN said, what a lovely community of silver brothers and sisters. And she talked about how she's lost family members and close friends and stuff. And she gets a sense that this community is really nice. So that makes me feel really good. And it should make you feel good. Susan, she's working on her spending. Spending is not fun. And Laura Lee says that we have demonstrated that old dogs can learn new tricks. Penny says that it's comforting to know that others have the same struggles, alone in a whole room of younger people. Grandma Lois, another one of her things, if you don't use it, you lose it. It goes for your legs, it goes for your eyes, it goes for your mind, it goes for the sex, it goes for grabbing things, it goes for knitting, sewing, all those things. If you don't use it, you lose it. Betty, oh, I have to tell you these things. I know this is going on way too long. I'm sorry, but I want to make sure that I say these things. Betty says, mice will burrow into pots that you bring in the house. And she said, ask me how I know. I wonder. And then she says, she's currently living with a plague of ladybugs. Then she said, I saw a mattress that I really wanted at the store. It was $2,700. It's still in the store. I would love to meet her because she is funny. She has a good sense of humor. I can hear it like in her whatever. Penny says it's comforting to know that other people have the same struggle. Oh, I already said that. Sorry. Donna Foster suggested the psychology of people who love staying at home. It's a YouTube video, and it's by Psychic You. She says it's fine, it's simple, easy, and it will make us understand why we like to stay home, and then it's okay. Nishless Boomer, she had the most profound remark. She said, would you have listened? Would I have listened? Would you have listened to the things about all the things that you should do so that you could be your best when you get old? No, I've never listened to anybody. I still don't listen. So she's right at saying, I did say that in the video, that I don't listen. Forget about redoing your past. Forget fixing everyone. See, I want to fix you all. Do what's best for you, and do it now. Now. Feeling bad about not having lost weight, not gone on a diet, it's a waste of time. She's so right. She should be doing a channel. I think maybe she has one. Nona Gray says, I think I would be stronger if I knew how weak I would be. And Pam, you know, that young one, she says, there's a show on YouTube called Fitness and PJ, and she says it's very good. It's geared, toward older folks, and she knows about arthritis and pain in your knees and pain in your hips and pain in your fingers and pain in your neck, pain in your ass. All those pains. So there are a lot of things. So I want to reassure you that I am back. I am totally back. And I am excited to be back. And I will see you definitely on Monday. Who knows what else? So be good. Share this video. Try and like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And thanks. Bye-bye.